Crime and Incompetence, the Philip J. Pierre's administration's legacy, by James Stanislas. The people of St. Lucia are suffering under the weight of a corrupt and inept government led by the bungling Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre, who seems more interested in making excuses than taking action. The island nation is plagued by an unprecedented wave of violent crime, with a staggering 77 official homicides and likely many more unreported, and over 264 homicides since this administration took office 3.5 years ago. Equally alarming, the number of incidents of grievous bodily harm is probably quadruple the number of homicides. But this government is notorious for suppressing the truth and massaging the media into silence. As the old adage goes, God gives the people the government they deserve. It's a notion that suggests that the people of St. Lucia are, in part, responsible for the plight we are currently facing. By electing the Philip J. Pierre SLP administration, despite their lack of a clear plan to address the island's pressing issues, the people of St. Lucia have inadvertently contributed to their own suffering. The administration's campaign promises were nothing more than empty rhetoric, devoid of substance and vision. Yet, the people were swayed by their lies, and now we are all paying the price. It's no surprise that this administration has failed to deliver on its promises, particularly when it comes to curbing crime. They presented no comprehensive plan to address the issue during their campaign, and it's clear that they had no intention of doing so. The people of St. Lucia should have seen through their deceit, but instead they gave them a mandate to govern. Now the island is reaping the consequences of that decision. As the Minister of National Security, Prime Minister Pierre's response to this crisis has been laughable. His pathetic excuse that he's not a policeman, but his father is an insult to the intelligence of the St. Lucian people. And listen, his star-spangled solution to the crime wave? Listen, replacing broken police vehicles, appointing a novice as the Minister of Crime Prevention, playing musical chairs with the position of Commissioner of Police, supplying the force with jet skis, or was it water skis, pleading with the media to withhold information about the real location of violent crimes, and contracting, listen to this, a Trinidadian company to construct a sprawling, overpriced $300 million halls of justice. These are his solutions to this violent crime wave. Meanwhile, the blood of innocent citizens continue to spill on the streets, the roadsides, the savannas, and the landfills of this country. The Royal St. Lucia Police Force, led by an acting commissioner, is woefully under-resourced and lacks the stability and leadership needed to combat this crime wave. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecution is equally overwhelmed, struggling to keep up with the sheer volume of cases. But instead of providing the necessary support, this government is more interested in protecting the victory, lining its own pockets and protecting its corrupt ministers. One of the root causes of the surge in gun violence lies in the government's failure to secure the country's porous borders. Many of the guns used in these murders are smuggled in through the official ports of entry, but this administration has done little or nothing to address this issue. The damaged scanner at Port Castries remains unrepaired, and no new scanners have been installed at other official points of entry. And in the mind-boggling display of incompetence, the Prime Minister even disbanded the successful K9 unit, which had been detecting illegal firearms and drugs, citing the cost of $40,000 per month as exorbitant. Can you believe that? One wonders, what price does this man put on a human life? The economic consequences of this crime wave are far-reaching and devastating. The high crime rate deters investment, increases business costs, especially those related to security and insurance, and threatens the tourism industry, which is the main driver of this island's economy. This, in turn, affects various sectors, including hospitality, agriculture, transport, and local businesses that all rely heavily on the tourist dollar. The long-term effects are equally alarming, as youth violence perpetuates poverty and disenfranchisement, leading to a brain drain and undermining economic development. The breakdown of community trust and cohesion, fueled by fear of crime, diminishes public participation and productivity, while putting additional pressures on an already strained healthcare system to deal with the consequences of violence. The violent crime wave has taken an equally devastating toll on families of the victims who are left to grieve, their lives forever changed by the senseless violence that has consumed the island. Children are growing up without fathers, the main breadwinners, and the government seems utterly clueless and uninterested in how to stop this crime wave. The perpetrators, often young men, lured by the false glamour of gang life and the promise of easy wealth, with no prospects and no hope, are products of a society that has failed them. They are the result of a government that has neglected its people, ignored the root causes of crime, and prioritized its own interests above all else. St. Lucia's once stellar reputation is tarnished by this ignominious ranking in the top 10 globally for murder rates. Top 10 globally for murder rates. The Philip J. Pierre SLP administration's apathy and remarkable ineptitude has brought shame and hardship to the nation. Yes, shame and hardship to its people. And it's time for them to take responsibility for their failures. So as we approach the new year, I remain hopeful that Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre will finally get his administration's priorities right in 2025. For his own legacy's sake, as history and the electorate will undoubtedly judge him harshly if he fails to address the crippling issues plaguing our nation. In closing, I wish the management and staff of The Voice newspaper, as well as all my readers and listeners, a peaceful and joyous holiday season. May the new year bring love, peace, and prosperity to our beloved island. And may our leaders finally find the courage and wisdom to lead us out of this darkness into a brighter future. I want to thank you for listening. May God bless you. May God bless our beautiful island, St. Lucia.